Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Live, Local and Loud with me, Kevin Gorn. In this week's show, Lee from Prime UK Band will be chatting to local blues rockers, the Veez. They'll be chatting about the music, gigs and Glaston budget. And we'll also have plenty of homegrown music by local bands. I hope you're all feeling well and are having a great week so far. So to kick today's show off, let's have a bit of Gazelle and Diamond High. That was Gazelle and Diamond High. Now, it looks like they should be playing at the Y Theatre in Leicester on Saturday the 31st of July, which will be an amazing gig. Don't know if you've been to the Y Theatre. It's one of Leicester's oldest theatres. Beautiful place. Lovely ambience. And yeah, that'll be a great gig. They're going to be supported by the Jack Fletcher Band and Louis Croft. So that's at the Y Theatre, Saturday 31st of July. For more information, check out Gazelle's Facebook page, spelt as you would expect it to be spelt. Now we're going to hear from Honey Blue, who we chatted to on last week's show, Little Light.
Little light, don't go out. Little light, don't go out. I need you. Little light, don't go out. Little light, don't go out. I need you. Oh, hold me close, don't go. Illuminate my soul. Little light, don't go out. Little light, don't go out. I need you. Oh, little light, don't go out. Little light, don't go out. I need you. Oh, soon the known will fall, and I will be alone. Little light, don't go out. Little light, don't go out. I need you. Oh, little light, don't go out. Little light, don't go out. I need you.
That was Honey Blue from last week's show and Little Light. Don't forget, if you want to hear any of our previous interviews, you can check out musicinleicester.co.uk, and our podcast will be, or a link to the podcast will be on the right hand side. Okay, so let's ramp things up a little bit and let's have a bit of Jules. Here's Cross-Dressing in a Freudian Slip.
Freshly pressed record pressed against the stylers, designers, from pages of magazines to the Met Gala, voguing down the runways of the New York ballroom scene. I record take another painting on top of Henry Barry Bench. I record take another painting, page for page. I record take another painting. protest is essential. Change is fundamental. Art is Basquiat Boal. Art is Amy Sherrill, Indian Moore, Maya Angelou. Warhol influential. At the heart of every protest, you'll find art is instrumental. Art is gentle, on our side. Art marches alongside women in their march for women's lives. Art's the creation, the celebration, embodiment of pride. Art is drag. Art drapes homophobes in a rainbow flag and demands you have your rights. I read for taking another painting on top of hatred very rage. I read for taking another painting, page for page. I read for taking another painting on top of hatred very rage. I read for taking another painting, page for page. Art's an accurate statement in the time that it's named. Art reaches every segment of the people, it's the forefront of change. Art shaped my childhood, it's my livelihood, it cannot be replaced. Art elasticates the mind, art is an escape, art is education. Art's a peaceful demonstration, art is inclusive, open to interpretation. Art is rehabilitation, a means of communication. Art is for the people, art has zero limitations.
BBC's Band to Watch 2021 and Jules and Cross-Dressing in a Freudian Slip. Absolutely loving the titles of their songs. Of course, we chatted to them a few months ago, so yeah, they'll be on one of our podcasts on musicinleicester.co.uk. Now we're going to hear from local grungsters Resin, Never Learn, from the album Cycle of Need. was Resin and Cycle of Need, one of the few Leicester musicians that we haven't heard on the show yet. Anyway, it's time now for our interview where Lee from Prime UK Band is going to be chatting to the lovely chaps Joe and Johnny from the Veez. They're going to be chatting about gigs, about Glaston budget, and about their music. But first of all, we're going to have The Mirror by the Veez.
In the morning and the daydream's still forming, so I wake myself. I take a walk to the mirror, take a look at a sinner, and I face myself. I can't believe
We are live, local and loud. I'm Lee here. That particular track was called The Mirror. That's by my guests, the Veez, who are with me today. It's Joe and Johnny. How are you both this afternoon?
How's it going? Yeah, good. Feeling nostalgic. We're just scrolling through the socials, see about life before lockdown. It was a lot of fun when we were allowed out. So much fun. But I'm feeling positive as well. I think it won't be long till we'll be back on it again, so that'll be sick.
So you've been digging out all the gig pictures and videos and just
right, yeah, just
gearing
reminding
yourself
myself
for what you've got coming up. You've got I might as well start with the gig front then. You've got some gigs lined up. I'm sure you're quite excited about. I think there's one in August. I think is that the first one that you've got coming up at the Firebook?
That's right, yeah. Basically, this is through Wake Up Promotions, and we probably owe a big thank you to Paul Collins as well, as he's been very good to us over the past few years in getting us gigs and things like that. Originally this gig was supposed to be, I think it was supposed to be around the 27th of December, but obviously that didn't happen for obvious reasons, and then there was another point it was supposed to be rescheduled. But as I say, I mean, fingers crossed it will actually happen this time, all being well. It's so it's on the 6th of August. It's at the Firebug. We're playing with the Factory Girls, Gavin and the Lars, and Mikey Kerslake. So, if anyone's listening and fancies coming to some live music for the first time in a long time, then please do. We'd be very well happy to see you.
Of course. So how did that come about then? The Factory Girls, are they headlining that one, or or is it a joint affair between? I think we're actually officially headlining it, but I think as I say, I mean, Paul puts on a lot of shows really, so he just kind of hooks us up with bands like us. I'm actually not too familiar with some of these artists myself, but very much looking forward to seeing them anyway. So, well, you've got a couple of months to do a bit of research and
absolutely
tailor your set accordingly. That's something I used to check out, see what they're doing. I'll try and do something a little bit differently. So yeah, Paul's been on the scene for quite a long time, hasn't he? I've done a few acoustic slots with him, and he put on a gig at the Musician that I supported with the Seahorses lead singer on that one. So that was a nice show, and he's just a genuine guy, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a good man, and I mean, the Musician. That was the last venue we played at, actually. Just before it all kicked off, we had a couple of gigs in a row there, and it was quality. Like I say, looking back, 2020, start of 2020, we had a couple of gigs there which were just good. Like playing in front of people was just sick. And then 2019 was a busy one as well, like 1 year before COVID. We had so many gigs in 2019, and the best bit was we weren't just playing to other bands sometimes, which was incredible. So yeah, sometimes we had a decent crowd as well. One of them which sticks out in my mind is, so you heard The Mirror before. That's kind of the lead single from the album we did a while back. We did a launch party. Joe, when did we release the album?
I think the album launch was on the 8th of June 2019, if I remember, when we played at the Cookie. That was a hell of a night.
Yeah, I couldn't even remember the year, to be honest. That's good skills. But, it was a quality gig. It was good just doing it on our terms. So it's the whole great thing about being an unsigned band and just on the scene that we are, is you can just get away with anything. And you can do what you want, which is so nice.
How'd you find the Cookie then? That's one venue I've never played in Leicester.
Yeah. Got relatively good relationship with the guy at the time who was dealing with it. For that gig, we just rented the room downstairs, and we did it all ourselves really. So the promotion, like the artwork design, we got merch ready in time for it. We chose the bands who were going to be playing with us. It was just quality. So yeah, we did our own tickets and sold those in advance, and paid someone to be on the door and all the rest of it. It was really good. And
was that the first time you'd done anything yourself, like booking your own show, or had you done that? Had a little bit of experience of that before?
With the Veez, yeah, first time, but it was just refreshing in a way, because you can get caught in the trap of playing with a completely random genre of band sometimes. Like I remember an old band we ended up playing with, an Italian operatic rock band, and we were like stoner rock, so it was just like, what's going on here, man? But we were just when we're doing our own stuff, we played with Chambers and we played with Wailing Badger. Wailing Badger and us are kind of joined at the hip. We did so many gigs with them in previous years.
They're both local bands.
Yeah. They're both well. Chambers are brilliant. Wailing Badger are distinctly average, but really nice guys. No, they're really, really good. They're really good bands.
It's all right, they won't be listening to this. It's fine.
Wailing who? So yeah, it's been it was really good. I'm sure that once we're not locked in our houses anymore, we'll be gigging with those guys again. It'll be quality.
Fantastic. Well, I've got we're going to play a track now and talk about it in a second, which is something that you've been creating during the lockdown period. So and it seemed to be quite an interesting process behind this particular one. So I will talk to you about that in a second. This track is called Walk Away by the Veez. live, local and loud. That was Walk Away by my guests, the Veez. So Joe, how did you get that particular track set up then? That's one of your most recent recordings?
Yeah, it's actually a song that I kind of started writing like probably about 4 or 5 years ago. Being the bass player of the band, it very much started off with that bass riff that I came up with, and the song kind of just grew out of itself, really. We started jamming it a long time ago, but we didn't actually ever really put it into our set really until probably the last year, where we really worked on it and refined it. It's quite a long song and there's various different sections to it, so it took a bit of work for us to get it right, really. But it's turned out really well in the end, and the feedback we've had at our gigs on the song has been really, really positive, actually, which is great. I mean, the song itself is kind of about, without meaning to sound too bleak or anything on a radio show, but it's essentially about a relationship I was in years ago with a girl who, shall we say, had been rather fallen into an addiction trap. And kind of as the relationship got more and more kind of toxic, really, it kind of ended up ending. So the song was kind of written at the time really as a kind of way to kind of say, look, you need to walk away from this life and, walk away, come with me, and, we can work on things together. Sadly, that never happened. But at the time, it certainly felt like something I wanted to write about. And, as I say, I've been really pleasantly surprised so far at the feedback we've received on it.
It's always good when you can take a negative in life. I was talking to Kev, hosting the show today, about that, actually, just about how you can kind of take that negative, put it into a positive, and it almost, I don't know, it doesn't necessarily make the issue feel any better, but at the same time it can kind of be quite cathartic to do that, can't it?
No, 100%.
About COVID in a way, couldn't you? Because COVID's been absolutely balls, isn't it? But you can turn it into a positive. So that song was like, it was a DIY recording, so Mirror was from an album that we paid money to somebody to record for us. Walk Away was just done by us messing around really with an audio interface, some microphones. So thankfully, our drummer Steve Brockton, he became post-processing superstar Dr. Dre. Bought all the gear. Initially had no idea or little idea, and now he's actually quality. He's come a really long way. I think he's done really well. And basically, it's such a weird process doing it at home, because we've had the experience in the studio, which was really good, and together you can kind of direct the song where you want to go as a 4-piece band. But when you're at home, for me personally, you've not got anyone to stop you from getting carried away. So as a singer, like I really love trying to make the sound full, and I love adding the harmony. So at the end, I'm like, walk away with me, walk away with me. By the time I know it, I've got about 50 layers of vocals and no one to tell me to stop, which is great. I
found myself doing that recently with a song. Like, I had to kind of check whether I was ill or not, because I was taking off backing vocals and stuff. Like, this is not the me of old. I must be must be going down with something.
Had my way out of the choir, mate. Yeah.
The one thing with doing your home recordings, you're not limited by time, you're not limited by money, and you could kind of experiment with things that maybe you didn't go to take to the full,
Yeah, that's very true. I mean, in terms of experimentation, because we're doing it at home, like there's always some little surprises in the stems that I send to Steve, because like we're just doing it at home. So normally there's like, walk away with woof, woof, and there's my dog going mental in the background, like, or TV on in the background. So Steve's always saying, that was a really good take, but I can hear your dog. But yeah, to go full circle, what I was going to say is that we wouldn't have done this DIY thing if it weren't for COVID. So it's a really horrible situation, obviously, but we've had a good old crack at doing some home recordings, which has been a lot of fun.
Just tell him it's a psychedelic concept with the dog sounds and the background noise.
Pink Floyd animals.
Tell him it's your Sergeant Pepper on the go. So this last track that we're going to play of the Veez today is one called Saviour. And then we're going to talk about the guys playing Glaston Budget, which should be a great event in August also. So I will talk about that in a second.
Do I find you here, or drowning in your fears, understanding, clean and sober now. Accept yourself somehow. I know it's over. Don't you read between the lines? Just remember the bad times. I know it hurts ya. Don't you read between the lines? Just remember the bad times. I know it hurts ya. You came and rescued me. You made it all so clear. You're the savior now. Oh, you came and rescued me, 'cause you made me believe. And now I've lost it all. In a cloud of smoke it's gone, and you're left to carry on. You're all alone now. All those people that were cruel, those that made you look a fool. But I believe ya. Don't you read between the lines? Just remember the bad times. I know it hurts ya. Don't you read between the lines? Just remember the bad times. I know it hurts ya. You came and rescued me. You made it all so clear. You're the savior now. Whoa. You came and rescued me, 'cause you made me believe. And now I've lost it all. Whoa. When I know deep down inside that all of this was my mind, it's just the hope keeps me alive. A resolution can't find, oh, and I must find my way home. You came and rescued me. You made it all so clear. You're the savior now. You came and rescued me, 'cause you made me believe. And now I've lost it all.
We are live, local and loud. I'm Lee Hare from Prime UK Band, and that was a track called Saviour by my guests today, the Veez, Joe and Johnny. So you've got Glaston Budget coming up. Should be a big event for you in the summertime. What's happening with that then? How did you get that sorted?
Well, I think this is another one that, I mean, I've totally lost track when on earth it was we did our audition for it. I must have been 2 years ago now, because obviously we were due to play the event last year and then that got cancelled. So yeah, that's kind of gone on and on, really. So, you know, again, fingers crossed, hopefully it will actually happen this year. But yeah, we had a really good audition, actually. It was down at the Sound House, and you know, Muzz, God bless him, who runs it, he seems to be a really big fan of us. He always seems to have a lot of really nice comments about us. So, you know, he put us through. Obviously, we played Glaston Budget, what was it, 2 years ago now? Whenever the last one was. But yeah, and that was a really memorable day, and we got to run into some of our friends there. We played a really, really good set, and you know, some of the bands we were able to go and see over the course of the weekend were, some of them were just fantastic. So it was a really good experience for us. So we're really looking forward to do it again, you know, and weather permitting, it should be a good weekend, and COVID permitting, of course.
Touch wood. And so originally you auditioned for that festival, and obviously because you went down well at the 2019 one, they've invited you back. Is that the case on that one?
Absolutely, yeah. I think that I think they rescheduled it again, but it didn't quite happen. So I had to get in touch and say, yeah, we're still interested in playing. But yeah, as I say, looking ahead now, it looks like it's going to happen. So they've been good enough to keep us on the bill there, which is great.
Fantastic. Well, I mean, if anybody wants to keep track on the Veez social media, it is the Veez Band UK on Facebook, and that's spelt VEEZ. And the Instagram is the Veez Band alone. And you've also got a YouTube. Just search the Veez and you'll find that one. Thank you very much for joining me today, guys. Anything you want to say to your audience or people that like to check out your music and stuff like that?
On Glaston Budget, we're on the Sunday, 5:30 on the Icon stage. So if you're thinking of having a fun weekend, that's when we're on. I'm sure we will not be clashing with anyone great. So come see us.
That's Sunday, the 29th of August, isn't it? So,
yes.
Well, thanks for both coming on the show this evening, guys, and we appreciate your time and all the best with the gigs, and I hope they go ahead. And I'm sure everybody will be really gagging and looking forward to that one to come and see you.
Nice one, loved it. Cheers, Lee.
Thank you very much, Lee. Appreciate it.
My pleasure.
That was Lee from Prime UK Band chatting to the lovely lads from the Veez, Joe and Johnny. Great to hear about their various gigs. Don't forget to see them Friday the 6th of August at Firebug in Leicester, supported by or with the Factory Girls. And also don't forget to see them at Glaston Budget on Sunday the 29th of August at 5:30 on the Icon stage. Cannot wait for Glaston Budget. Meanwhile, here's the Della Grants and 2020, which was actually written in 2020 during one of the lockdowns, and it was inspired by a lockdown as well. So here's the Della Grants 2020.
Ain't it funny how quickly things can change? In just a few days, the whole world's strange. They said we should have seen it coming. Yeah, who can we blame? We're just a little bitty part of Mother Nature's game. Oh, but the clock keeps a turning, days keep a rolling by. You pray the day is gonna come when this virus gonna die. New day is dawning of these isolated gonna come? When this virus gonna die? Oh, but the clock keeps a turning, days keep a rolling by. You pray the day is gonna come, when this virus gonna die. Oh, but the clock keeps a turning, days keep a rolling by. You pray the day is gonna come, when this virus gonna die.
That was the Della Grants and 2020. Now we're going to finish this week's show off with a taster of next week's show. From our guests, we're going to have on the show a band called The Cars That Ate Paris. Here's one of their songs, Kuala Lumpur. That was Kuala Lumpur from The Cars That Ate Paris, who we'll be chatting to on next week's show. That brings us to the end of another show. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to find out about what's going on in the local music scene. Check out musicinleicester.co.uk. Our gig diary is filling up very nicely with some lots and lots of lovely gigs when we all get unlocked for the big unlock in June, or maybe late May, June. Anyway, do have a great week. Keep away from any viruses, and I shall see you next Thursday, 5 o'clock on Hermitage FM.